Hey everybody, welcome back to the table. So I apologize, my battery on my camera went dead right as we were beginning to deal with the minions and their movement step. A couple of things, some rule clarifications came in, and at like 3 a.m. I'm having a conversation with Roger last night. So first of all, Roger did clarify that the blacksmith, we really are allowed to go through the deck and buy whatever we choose from the blacksmith. He confirmed that the part in the Avalon Adventure rules where it says you can't shop if you do Avalon Adventure, to ignore that part. What he was meaning to say is you can't do the House of Chance when you get back. So that part's good. You're allowed to buy potions. You're allowed to buy whatever you want. You just don't get the starting money from the scenario. And then the third thing he confirmed is there's a big debate on Board Game Geek about the setup, and they thought that the minions should be spawned at setup. And Roger said that that's not the design. The design is that the minions come at the end of the first turn, like we did. So we did it correctly. But he also added that if you wanted to spawn them at setup, go for it. Obviously, it would make the game a little bit harder. That was his comments, and he's actually starting to watch some of these videos, and I'm very honored. So anyways, that's it. We can jump in and continue our movement here. We were just getting ready to deal with that red wolf back there. So the factors that we have to do is, remember, we're doing a D10. This is to see if he's a raider. And I don't think he's from Oakland or Las Vegas, I guess is where they move now. And we don't need this, but we do need this because he's going to be moving, right? We will need this very soon. So we might as well, we'll do all three. And I'll explain why I'm doing this at the moment, in a moment. So, all right. So first of all, he doesn't become a raider. He's moving one space plus, if you look at the card, one space plus 5. So he's moving 6 spaces. And the reason I rolled this, we got the yellow foot, I'll show you in a second, is because 1, 2, he needed to roll here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're around the corner. This is a wall, okay? This is a chamber, so a chamber is a wall. We're around the corner, so this character who's standing here... Oh, I'm sorry, that character's another minion. I apologize, that's not us. So don't have to worry about that. And that's his whole move. All right, so now we're moving on to the blue orc archer, which is over here. And yes, we're trying to point them in the direction. So let's go, and there you have it. That turned into a raider. So when you roll the maximum number, they turn into a raider. So this 5, and this is a problem. 5 plus 3 is 8. He's making a beeline for the village. So right here you can see there's some arrows. There's an arrow here as well. So we got to roll a d6. So I rolled a 5. So he's going to go out the room this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or we can go, 7, 8. And then he'll just go up this hallway. And then here's the next bloody arrow. He follows the bloody arrows. Okay? So that guy has become a raider. And before I forget, we got to put this on him. So we do have to kill it. He's on the opposite end of the direction we were going. So it's a little bit of a problem. And the other thing that I do like about these guys is you do have the luxury of seeing where your advantages are. So for example, the cleric would be really good to hunt it down. So would the archer. So so you want to pay attention to that. So if you're picking who in your party should go hunt it down, that's something you want to very strongly consider. I'm okay with the fact that we're running around sort of independently. I wish this game had more party dynamics, to be quite honest. But that's the same complaint I had about Alter Quest, and I really like Alter Quest. So, granted, that game had to grow on me a little bit, but I have no gripe with the way this game works. I just sort of like if I'm fighting a monster, I want to do it as a party. I don't want to do it individually, which is what's been happening. And yes, you can form a party in this game, but I still don't like the dynamics and how it works. But with that said, it's still a fun game if you just accept it for what it is. And so we're going to the snake. So same deal with the snake. And again, the snake also became a raider. So we got another raider in our midst. And the snake here, the bow or the rogue are the only two that are really good at this one. And we rolled a 6, and he gets a plus 4 to his movement. So he's moving 10 spaces. So the snake is here. He was moving this way along the patrol, but that doesn't happen anymore now that he's a raider. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, boom. We didn't even get a chance to stop him. So the terror level just went up. We're not even done with the first quest, folks, and we're losing. I'm not doing very well. So I probably need to get a little less risk. That was something I was, I'm playing this game way too aggressively. That was my thing when I woke up today and was thinking about this game is, I'm trying really hard to level up, but I'm just plowing into rooms that could have level 2 monsters. And I need to just stay focused on the level 1 rooms and get leveled up. And then and only then should I try to mess with these level 2. Now, the fact that this one guy was able to escape as a raider, that I had no control over. We can't control this snake. However, we are able to control how often we die, which caused it to go up again. And that was an issue. So one thing that I actually wanted to look up before I started, so I'm going to pause. I want to know if that terror level ever goes down for any reason, and I'm wondering if Celebration Day does that. I really never read about Celebration Day and what happens there because we're not at it yet. So the way I read rules is I don't usually worry about stuff until I get there, but sometimes it's nice to know what exactly happens. So I can do that in between videos. I don't need to do it now. Anyways, we got to move on to the skeletal grunt. So this next guy, it's the green skeletal grunt. Just need to figure out where he is on the map. We know this one's over here. Oh, he's right. No, that's the archer. There we go. He's right back there. So these stands, so I have him pointing that way because that's the way he's moving, but then it's hard to notice him because he looks like a door. Okay, so let's do the roll. Okay, finally we don't have a raider. And he gets 5 plus 2 is 7. And all I have to say is that was deadly. That one guy's patrol was so close to the exit that he was able to just leave. So we said 7. So this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And thank goodness we had him pointed because I wouldn't have remembered after, taking an evening away. And all right, so now here's a good question that I think I already know the answer to, but you can see right here when he was here, he was 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away from the dog. The dog is not considered a hero because the dog can't be hurt or chased after the minions. So he did not spot a hero in that situation. And also, actually, there's a wall there. Now that I look at it, there's a solid wall here, but there's a pathway here and there's a pathway here. There is somebody standing in the doorway, but it's around the corner. So I'm going to say no to line of sight on that. Because you have to give some really weird angles. And I'm not going to be that anal about it. The other thing is, I've also, for like if you're trying to save table space, you can take your character card and slide the weapon underneath to the point where, you know, that's the only thing sticking out. The one thing you want to be careful of is if you have a slot, you may want to keep that out. But these ones don't have slots, so you can, you know, and that saves at least a little bit of room, but that's definitely a problem. And sorry, I'm starting to become like Roger and letting myself get distracted with side conversations. All right. And yes, I've done that in all my videos. So, last one is the Cultist of Zool. So let's do 9 is close, but no cigar. And then we got a 4 plus 2. So moving 6, and she is facing, just need to get the camera down. She's moving 6 spaces, and she is, oh, she's right on a transition spot. So I need to roll one of these. So we got a green. And that means she's going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, nobody's in view or anything like that, but she's definitely moving towards us. And that concludes the minion phase. Now we are at 4 minions and the population is 5, but they don't spawn. They spawn at the start of the monster phase, not at the end. So we're going to just be living with 4 for the next turn. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the round, and let me just make sure. Yep, so now we go back to upkeep. So we have to process any afflictions, and we have bleeding on our cleric, who has the key, and a couple $100, and only 2 health. So the cleric is going to take 1 damage, and if I don't heal her between now and the next turn, she's going to die. So I don't know how to do this. I think she's going to die, and this might cause us to have to consider starting a new game, because the terror track is already going to be at 7 out of 12. We haven't even finished quest 1, and we still have quest 2 and quest 3. I mean, if anything, I played rather recklessly in the start. So I don't know what to do. That bleeding can only be healed with looks like an elixir. Yep, cure all afflictions. And then, of course, she needs a healing potion as well. The dog right now doesn't have any gold on him. And maybe the other drawback is I shouldn't have spent all the gold like I did. But anyways, we have to do a resurrection because, hold on. There's no lit torch. There's no unchanneling. We got to do initiative tokens. It's not listed on here, but we have to go through the resurrection process. So, so let me make sure I have all that figured out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so obviously we moved the terror track up. We took care of that already. So here's what happens, and it is at the start of the upkeep. So in case you're wondering about timing, this occurs like even before you do any of the other upkeep. And also, if our cleric does die from her affliction, the affliction goes away, as you know, part of the death. So take a white D3 and a red D12 and an orange D12. So, oh, there is a D3. I didn't even realize that. Okay, we got that. Okay, roll these dice together. I'm assuming that 1 is something I'm really going to hate. Okay. The white D3 represents health and essence restored to the hero. So if a 2 is restored, or 2 is rolled, a 2 is restored. So this is bad news for us. So what that means is he only has 1 health. So he's going to go to 1. And one thing I didn't do when he died, his essence was, whatever. That goes all the way down to 1 as well. Basically, it went to 0 the moment he died. So now they're both at 1, and that's set by the 1 die. And then the red represents health restored to the hero, while the orange represents essence. Oh. So this is both, and then this is health, and that's essence. So that's really weird. But sure, I'll take it. So 10 health. So he's actually at full health. And then 6 essence would put him to 7, which isn't the 12 that he's used to having, but that's good enough. And yes, now he's able to be functional. And all the heroes are thought to have soul stones. So he's placed in the dungeon adjacent to any hero that's already in there. And then you commence the upkeep phase. So technically the upkeep phase didn't even start until this happened. So let me reach over here. All right, so we got this guy. We have a roamer here, so I can put him next to another hero. I don't know if I really want to. Part of me wants to just go where the siege is, and I'm assuming that I can do that. And maybe I can't. So if I have to put him next to a hero, I gotta be careful, because see that little green there? That's a minion. So if I start running into the hallway that way, I'm going to get spotted. So I don't want to get spotted. So if I have to put him next to somebody else, we're talking, he's all the way back here. So he's going to be all the way back there next to the archer. Okay, because I have 4 guys right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the cleric in the back who's ready to die. And then 2 of them are there, right next to that green minion, which hasn't spotted them yet. So so now we're going to do our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And before I do that, I want to look up another rule. And I will tell you what I'm going to look up first. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to save this cleric. And I don't think I can do it with the dog. So the cleric has 200 bucks on her. The dog is here. The cleric is all the way over here. She does have the money to buy the potions, but the dog would have to run to the cleric, to the village, and then back to the cleric all in this turn. And it's just too much. There's only 2 actions. The dog can't move that much. The cleric could move first and get closer to the dog. That's great. But the cleric can't drink the potions unless it's her turn. So she's going to end her turn in order for the dog to take their turn. So that doesn't work either. So the third path I'm looking at is I have 6 life force. And I think that it only costs 1 action to do this thing called enlightenment. And you can see it here. The action is used when a hero gains a new special ability of their current level from the academy. Nothing else can be done when using enlightenment. And all that means is nothing else can be done in your action. So actually, I don't even need to look up the rule. It says it right here. But you get 2 actions. So your first action is enlightenment. The second action will be, whatever happens after. So bear with me. I got to reach across the table and grab the skills. Okay, so what I want to do is get this. So a level 1 divine healing, and then we have holy damage. So Divine Healing may be activated anytime during the cleric's turn. When activated, target self up to 4 spaces away and restore 4 health. Line of sight is not needed. Heroes in chambers can be targeted. So, and she's in a chamber right now. So it costs 3, and then it'll cost 3 essence to cast. And see the little red arrow means that it needs to be refreshed during the next upkeep phase. So she can only cast it once. But this is going to save her. It's going to give her 3 more turns. And then that allows the dog to have time to go get the potions. So I think that's an excellent plan, if I say so myself. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do Enlightenment, which is the first action. It's going to cost 3 life force tokens to do, which will give her this level 1 skill. Now, she can get a level 1 skill because she is a level 1 character. Like, for example, we can't get the level 2 Divine Healing, even though we can afford it, because we do have the 4 points. Obviously, it's a lot nicer, but she's not level 2 yet. So that's what these skills are. We need to get all of these skills. And so, in case you haven't noticed, there is a huge demand for life force points here. Between all of these skills, and then just leveling up your hero costs life force, leveling up your dog costs life force. Everything in this game needs life force. And the only way you get it is to kill things. So that's why I've been playing aggressively, because I've been trying to get life force. But then I'm dying and I'm making the terror track go up. So what a crazy web we weave, right? Anyways, I'm going to put, rather than reaching them back across the table, I'm going to keep these cards a little closer. They don't necessarily need to be on that spot. Okay. So I gave up the 3 points. We have this. I need to spend the 3 essence. So our cleric has plenty of essence. She's at 9. So 8, 7, 6. We're going to spend the 3, and then we're going to get 1, 2, 3 health. That puts her up to 4. So now she will take another hit at the beginning of next turn, because her turn's over. Well, no, it's not over. She gets to move still. The casting of the spell did not cost an action. So she still has 1 action left. And so she's going to try to move closer to where the dog is, or closer to the exit, so she can help the dog. So we're going to do a move. And then this, of course, is spent, so we would turn it upside down. And I will do that. Yes, I'm very pleased with myself for coming up with that. So let's roll her movement is a d6 plus 2. All right, so I rolled a 2, plus 2 is 4. So the door is here, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. So she's in that room, same room as the dog, so the dog could theoretically run over and get her money, and we'd be good. Okay, oh, I got so ahead of myself. She's apparently my first. So we're going to do that first, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go ahead and to be quite honest, there's no need for anybody to go first, second, or third, so I'm just going in order. The next thing I'm going to do is activate the dog. So the 6 was very, very much needed. The dog gets to add 6 more, so it gets a 12. So if I can, I'm going to try to put the camera down here so I can be hands-free. Okay, so 12. This is a wall, so we have to go around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I am next to the cleric. Okay, so I'm going to get the $200 from the cleric. And I'm also going to take the key from the cleric. So somebody commented in the comments that they weren't sure if things like keys were a party thing, and the rules don't seem to say it. I forgot to ask Roger. So the way I'm playing it is you can only trade items, because the rules do talk about trading. You can only trade items if you're next to them. So I'm going to assume that, in order for somebody to open these doors that are red, that require a key, you have to have the key in your possession. So I'm going to give the key to somebody who can actually open those doors, and I'm thinking it's going to be the mage or the archer. That's my thoughts. Obviously, we have this orc archer we need to take down. The cleric is out of movement points, but she is one of the best suited to take down that orc archer. But she's still very far away from being there, so we got to deal with that. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and roll for the dog, and I only rolled a 1 and get to add 6, so we get a 7. So here's my thoughts. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, and give the key to the mage, and then keep going 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're heading towards the village to get relief for the cleric. So I hope that makes some sense. Okay, so the orc archer, like I said, yeah, we can probably even use the paladin to take down the orc archer now that I'm looking at it. So we might be okay. All right, so dog's turn is over, and now we're going to go to 2. 2 is the knight, and the knight, as you can see, is way back there, and we need to find a place to mine. We sent the archer, the hunter archer, we checked out a mining spot and it was empty, which is to be expected because half of the spots are empty. So where is another place that we can mine? Well, we have one here on the edge of the map, so we could try to go to that one. We also have one there, which I don't know, it might be helpful because, you know, monsters are turning into raiders and we don't have anybody on that side of the map. We have one way down here, which is really far away. One is there, so even if that one fails, there's another one nearby. That's the plus. This one over here is not near anything, so we're gonna go way out of our way, and then if it turns into a bust, we're screwed. There is one down here, which is very far away, but it's near the Chamber of Kings, which, no, it's not near anything. I mean, it's near the Viticus. We actually have a quest here, but it's not a level 1 quest, I don't think. Well, actually it is. St. Viticus, slave group of monsters has been raiding to clear all the chambers within the area. So that is a green quest, so we could try to go for that one. Yeah, sure. So what we'll do is we're gonna hit this one up there because it's sort of on the way down, and we're gonna go down to St. Viticus. I really like the idea of going this way because if these guys turn into raiders, we can do something about it, but I want him to mine. And then the other thing is that there's a mining spot here, so there's like, they're really close together, these two, and that one's just sort of along the way. That's like taking the scenic route instead of coming straight down. So we got a lot of movement to do, Scooby-Doo, so let's roll. 4, and he gets +2, so that's 6. And I'm gonna roll again because I know he needs more than 6 movement points, so we're just gonna do it twice. And that's 1 + 2 is 3, so that's 9. So 9 total movement points for him. And if I would buy torches, I would get more movement points. So that's something I maybe should consider strongly. It just costs money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm not quite there. And is there a better way to go? Actually, there is. So, well, but I'd have to hit a trap. I might as well avoid the trap. So those traps aren't fun. So yeah, I'm fine with the way I went. And that's his whole turn. So now we go to 3. That is the mage. So the mage could try to take out this skeleton archer, but is not the best equipped for it. So he's going to run with the key. And we're going to go towards the ancient depths and try to get some chambers open. So I rolled a whopping 1. He gets a +2, so that's 3 points. That's not going to be enough. And I'm going to roll 5 plus 2 is 7. So 7 plus 3 is 10. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're on the verge of being able to go into this door. This is where he died, by the way. There was a level 2 in here. And you keep that token in there, by the way. Even though the monster gets shuffled back into the deck, and by the way, I'm not shuffling, I just put it on the bottom. There's a discussion about that as well. The rules don't specifically say. The monster does go away, and you would draw a new monster if you ever went back into this chamber. But you got to leave this here, because we at least know that there's a level 2 monster in that chamber. And like I said, the incantation went up 2 points, or 2 blips. I very much see how we can lose this game, because that terror level thing is now a very strong concern of mine. But we talked about that already, so we'll move on to the rogue. Now, the rogue, my situation is that if I leave that room, I've determined that he doesn't seem... So if I leave the room, I can come towards us this way, and that little green base there is a monster. So he will have line of sight and see us. So I would have to do a battle because it's going to turn into a raider. Or if I leave the room and go that way, I could go around and stay out of its line of sight. So it's really just a matter of how badly do I want to stay out of its line of sight. And so it's the green base skeletal grunt. And if we look at the weapon modes, I do have a huge advantage against him because it's the kind of attack I do. Now, he only has 2 health. He gives me 0 life force, which is the thing I would really like. And I'd have to roll a perfect 20 to get any rewards from him. So in other words, he sucks. So killing him doesn't give us anything. I'd rather just let him just roam the halls and find nothing. So I'm going to leave and then go around like that to avoid staying in his line of sight, and maybe help out against the the orc archer, because we got to stop him from his nefarious ways. So I'm going to roll 2 d6s because I'm doing a move basically. I've got to get out of dodge. So there's 7, and then I get to add 4 to each one. So 7 plus 8, 15 movement points. So let's put the camera down so you can see what's going on. And I'm a million miles away from everything. So 1, and like I said, from the center of this, there's a wall here. So from the center, I'm going to say he's not hitting me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is a solid wall, this whole thing. So the inability to go through here in this way makes me have to walk all the way around and go through this door way over here. So even with all those movement points, I still couldn't do anything. Now what I could do is I actually could go into this chamber here, because there is a crate in that chamber. Ooh, that's actually something worth considering, because you can move and enter a chamber as part of the movement. How much health do we have? We're a little bit damaged. And there is a possibility that that chamber has something bad in it. Oh, what a tough decision. Who can I rally? I could rally the archer to join me. And if I do, the archer... yeah, because I'm going to use the paladin to try to take down this orc archer. So I can have Enwin, the archer, help me. I'm going to rally. So I'm going to spend 1 essence. So the rogue is down to 3 total essence. And we're going to rally. Let's use the party mechanism. We're going to go into this chamber. Okay? But I don't reveal what's in that chamber yet. Let me move the camera so you can have a better view. So this is a door, and there's a chamber in here with a crate. So rather than moving the few movement points up this way, I went into the chamber to attack. but I spent 1 essence. You have to spend an essence, and it's the rogue who spends it. And I'm rallying whoever's next. So the rogue is number 4, and the hunter, or the archer, is number 5. So I'm rallying the archer, and so basically the archer gets to take their turn at the same exact time. So we got to roll a die, and that's a 5, for example. And she gets +3 to her movement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we need to roll one more time, and that's a 5 +3 is 8. And so she also made it into the chamber. So now we're both in the chamber, and we're going to fight as a party against whatever's in here. Okay, does that make sense? Now, and then we'll explain the mechanics of that in a second. And so let's reveal what it is. Yeah, it's an empty chamber. Oh, I was so expecting this to be like a level 2 monster or something. It's an empty chamber. Okay, so that cracks me up. So let's say that it wasn't an empty chamber. Just real quick. You know, when you have the different phases of attack, one character can say, okay, I'm going to attack with this one using their strength, you know, because the archer would actually do that one, right, because she's really strong on that. The rogue would do that one because she's really strong on that. And then we could actually even attack on the third one because they both have 2 weapons. Now, the only thing that we're restricted by is you can never do more than 1 attack per phase. So, so during this phase, only one of the 2 characters can attack. And during this phase, only one of the 2, you know. So you can never have both characters attack in the same phase. But you could theoretically have attacks in all 3 phases. And you use the best ability of whichever hero you want. And then the other hero who's not involved in that phase, they don't get damaged. Because they're not... so whoever steps forward and says, I'm doing the attack for this, they're the ones that are going to risk taking damage, or they're going to be the ones giving the damage. Okay? And probably before the end of the playthrough, we're going to run into this again. But just wanted to give you an idea of why I was doing what I did. And I was trying to play it a little smarter, so that way we wouldn't be dying, right? But none of that mattered. Okay, so... So we're in an empty chamber, and we got a crate. The crate is just empty, but as you may recall, there is a crate container. So let's reach in and grab one. And it is a healing potion. Take 1 potion from the game box. Now, this is not from the blacksmith. You truly get an extra potion from the game box. So, and we can give it to the archer or the rogue. So I'll give it to the rogue because the rogue actually has damage right now. And so yeah, she has a healing potion now. And we can also give that to the cleric if we needed to. But the dog is already on his way to do that. So we may not need to worry too much there. So what that did, though, is that concluded the archer's turn as well as the rogue's turn. So we just took 2 turns at once. And now, last but not least, is our paladin. And the paladin situation is, yes, we need to get this orc archer who's raiding. The best way to go would be this way. But in doing so, we're going to make this guy raid too. And we just discussed this. We don't want that. He does have a nice advantage against the skeletal grunt, so he could kill the skeletal grunt, but we don't get anything for it. So then the question is am I better off moving all the way down here to have to move all the way back to be able to take on this archer? A paladin with all of his armor does not have a lot of movement points, and if I do move up this way and make this guy go alert, I'm going to have to spend a turn to kill that guy, and I may not kill him in 1 turn. And so then the problem becomes is I now have to spend, because remember, battles aren't unlimited. They're just 1 turn at a time. So then I'm spending both of my actions to kill that guy. Yes, I'll be a little bit closer, but... and the problem is when I kill that guy, like we said, I'm going to get nothing for it. And then there's a new one that's going to spawn in the dungeon, and they may spawn somewhere that's going to be more harmful to us. Okay, so I think I made up my mind. We're gonna have to just run the long way. I'm not real thrilled about it, but we're gonna do a move. And I rolled awful, a 2-1, and he only gets a +2 to each one, so that's 4. So 4 + 3, he only gets 7 movement. And I need to get really serious about taking out this Orc Archer, or we're gonna lose another terror point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, heck, if I went this way, I wouldn't even have made it to the monster over there. So that was bad. That was very, very bad. Okay, that brings us to the end of our turn. Then we, I skipped the encounter. I skipped the Guardian. Boy, I really did bad. I need more coffee. We took this part, so we ended up skipping this and this. So we do have to roll for this. Let's do that right now. I rolled a 1. So there was definitely no Guardian spawning. And then the Guardian marker drops to 15, so we're safe there. The Guardian spawning would have possibly changed things for us. But the encounter card, that's a big deal. And so let's see what the encounter card says. Challenge. Select a hero, and it can't be somebody who is involved in combat or being chased by a Guardian. He's entered a chamber where the floor is divided by a gaping hole. They notice a pouch. Test agility 17 to leap across and retrieve the pouch. On the pass, you make it across. On a fail, the hero makes it across, but ledge breaks. They get 1d6 damage. And then the gold is hopelessly lost. So you have to choose somebody. And the rogue has a 3 agility here. I would have chosen the rogue no matter what, because it has the best chance. Everybody else does not have 3 agility. So, I would have chosen that. The fact that we now have a healing potion makes it even better. We wouldn't have known that at the time, so my apologies there that we screwed that up. But I need a 17, which now becomes a 14, and that's still a really difficult roll. And there it is, 14. So I passed. That's even awesome. So now we roll a d12. It's one of these. And I rolled a 3, which stinks. So I get 300 gold. It's better than nothing. All right, so the rogue now has 300 gold in addition to the healing potion, and we passed the challenge. So my apologies. I should not have done that out of order. Where are we at? We're at 42 minutes. So the next step is we're going to have to do the minions. And now that we've played 2 rounds, I do want to look at the other characters that we didn't choose, and see, like, is there anything about these that makes them interesting? And, maybe we could do something, different. But what I'm going to do is let's finish the turn, and then I'll put this at the end of the video. So those of you who don't want to have this discussion can just skip it and move to the next part of the playthrough. So that way you're not watching me go off on a tangent. But this is what I do. I really love analyzing games. So anyways, back to this, the minion thing. So the first thing we do with the minions is we have to look at the track. As we know, their population is 5. It's real easy. You can just look at the board over here. There's only 4 of them there, so we have to spawn one. So we're going to spawn a level 1 minion, and it's an Orge Siegebreaker. Ooh, we never saw one of those before. And it's blue. So it's a regular one. And what does he look like? He looks ugly. All right, here we go. And let's roll a D8. So I rolled an 8. There's a 7 here. Here's the 8. So he's spawning there. And then we're going to roll. We have to immediately roll to see if he becomes a... whoops. Nope, he just spawns for now. But now we activate. And that's when all this other stuff happens. So we're going to have to manage that. So now we have to start from the left and go right. And the first one up is the red wolf, which is way over here. So let's roll for his movement. It's 3 plus 5 is 8. So 1, 2, well actually hold on. I forgot the important step. We always have to check to see if he turns into a raider. He doesn't. And then we're gonna roll this because that's coming. I got a pink. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and then he's gonna go the pink path, which, where is the pink path? Oh, you know what? I think this is for the expansion. That's why I keep rolling colors. That's for the other dungeon, I think. I need to roll this one. Oh, nope, there's a pink one on that one too. Where the hell is a pink? So what the rules say is like if you roll purple, right, it's going to go along the orange path because the orange and purple are sharing the path. That's the reason why you see that little footprint there. Let me zoom in for you so you can. So see that little footprint right next to the 2? So green will go this way, blue goes this way, orange goes that way, but the purple will also go that way. All right, so am I just having color issues? Is this considered purple? Yes, it is. Okay, so we rolled purple, so he's just turning around. So we went 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so we're going to face him that way because that's the way he wants to go. All right, sorry about that. Next one is the Orc Raider. We don't need to roll for the rating anymore. He's already hot to trot there. And I rolled a 1, which is good. And then he gets to add +3. So that's 4. 4 total movement. So he was going to go down this hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4. And yes, he's going to go this way and then come out this door right here and then head right up the stairs. Okay? So he's probably 2 turns away from getting out. So we gotta get cracking here. All right, so that guy's done. Next we go to the skeletal grunt. And the grunt is, yeah, that's the one we've been contemplating killing. So we need to roll for him and this, and I'm very suspicious we'll probably have to roll one of those too. So let's do all that. So no raider. He's going to get 6 movement plus 2, which is 8. And then he'll go down the green path when he gets there. And you'll see it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he's going to take the green path. 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's going in the opposite direction of us. So we made a really good decision to leave him alive. Because he's out there doing whatever by himself. Whatever skeletons do. Cultist of Zool is over here. This is an interesting one. Let's roll for her. All right, the 9 is no raider. 4 plus 2 is 6, and if she needs to take a path, it'll be green. I'm just rolling it because it just saves me time. But she's moving 6. She's pointing this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in fact, she didn't need to roll for a direction, but it was no harm, no foul. Then lastly, the orc, this guy who spawned in. So now we're going to do the same thing for him. And you can see we got an orange, no raider. 3 plus 2 is 5. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right along the orange path here. So he's heading that way, which could be a little dangerous because he could potentially turn north here. And we do have guys that are going to be coming into that area. But we're done. Okay, so I'm going to not do any more playthrough. The only thing I'm going to talk about is the characters we didn't select. So now that we know what we know about the game, you know, what kind of things would I possibly do differently? So go ahead and go to the next video if all you're interested in is to play through. I will wrap this up as quickly as I can. Of course, I actually want to keep playing. So, but this is just something that's interesting to me because I'm already thinking about my next game. You know, because that's what happens when you finally start to get a feel for the rules. But anyways, here we go. So this is a warlock. The warlock was a little lower than the wizard, and that's why I didn't choose him. Because the wizard gets a +3 here, the warlock only gets a +2, but you can see the warlock gets sort of like he's more balanced this way. You know, he does have different skills that you learn at the academy. I'm quickly learning that those skills you learn at the academy, you don't even use at the start of the game. I mean, we just got one for our cleric. So I'm a little frustrated about that. Like, I thought I would have at least the level 1 versions of the skills from the start. So I'm learning that the numbers here matter more than the actual skills in most cases. But there's nothing really all that jumping out at me on this one. He does have a nice value here, which we seem to struggle with a bit on a lot of our characters. His evade ability is awful. So his ability to like escape from a monster is not very good. His chaos is better than the wizard. Really what you're doing is you're probably considering the wizard or him. Like, those are your comparisons, right? And so, you know, if you do the comparison, the wizard is more focused. He's more balanced. He has a +1 in swords, whereas the wizard has a -3. So you're basically juggling around some of these other numbers. His bowmanship is awful, whereas his is 0. But I can't tell you, oh, this is more valuable than that. I mean, who knows? I think that what you're going to do is you're going to get weapons that just do certain things. And look, here's what's interesting. Look, the wizard has a 3. I should have used him to try to find that secret room. I didn't even notice that. Holy cow! I sent the paladin. Our wizard has a 3. That's even better. So, anyways, I'm very happy with my choice of the wizard. If I remember correctly, I didn't really care much for the warlock skills either. The barbarian that you get at the start of the game, I think, is an interesting choice, and he was one of the ones I was really not sure if I should have taken, because he has the chaos, and nobody else really does. Obviously, he's awful at picking locks. He's going to be massive at strength. In fact, that's the best in the game. That's better than any of our characters. But everything else is just pedestrian. He really only has a 3 here and a 2 there, and that's it. So, but, you know, I don't think you would go wrong with him, because you do need chaos people. This one was a really difficult choice. This is the bard versus the rogue. The rogue has a higher lockpick. It's a 2. The bard has a higher hiding ability, which so far we haven't used yet. The rogue has a 0, whereas the bard's a 1. The bard's better here. The rogue has higher strength. The rogue has 3 agility. The bard only has 1. So I think I went with the rogue because the agility to me mattered. And actually the agility has been semi-useful so far. This is about the same. Obviously the rogue is not good here. I mean, so you're swapping some numbers on this department. But basically, I would say they're pretty even matched. You just go with whichever one you want. So no regrets there. The Battle Mage. This one is an interesting one. It has +3 to Chaos and +2 to Magic. So that's not bad. And then look, you get a 3 here, which that could have been helpful for finding secret doors. So if you don't go with the Wizard, you may want to have a Battle Mage, and then that gives you your nice Chaos too, especially if you don't have the Barbarian like we do. But so far, I'm feeling okay with our choice. Like, I think Roger made all of these characters pretty even. Like, I'm not seeing how, like, oh my gosh, this one character is the best in the game, like I did with Altar Quest. This is the priest, who I struggled very hard. +3 here. The cleric has the same +3. The cleric had a 1 in strength, and that's why I chose it, but the priest actually has a better ability to find secret rooms. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with secret rooms, but I am. Beyond that, these numbers shift around a bit. It's pretty much the same. Movement, I'm starting to realize, is a big deal. So maybe you want to get somebody who's more agile in the movement department, but there's nothing else jumping out between the two. And then the ranger versus the archer was another tough choice. The ranger and the archer both have the +3 here. You can see the ranger had some chaos to him. His movement is the same, strength same, that's the same. In fact, everything is exactly the same. The only thing that shifts around is this, plus the skills. He has a skill you can get at the academy that lets him take an extra turn. So he gets 4 actions instead of 2. I may wish that I had taken him for that reason. But that's something for you to bear in mind when you're choosing your guys. All right, I promised it wouldn't be long, and I just was curious, so I did it on camera. I could have done it between videos. I get it, but you chose to stay. All right, thanks for watching. Stay awesome, healthy, and safe. Somebody did point out to me that in my last set of battles, which was 2 turns ago, the one where the wizard died, I forgot to do the special abilities of the enemy at the bottom. So I will try to make a conscious effort to not miss that next time. Thanks for that feedback, and see you next video.